Let's try and get this video to 10,000 thumbs up. I know you can do it. I feel like I should highlight my shoulders. Wait, I need to move this back. Oh, you can see some clothes here. Just move that clothing pile out of the way. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I thought today I would do a kind of starter kit, drugstore style, for people that don't really know anything about makeup and they don't know where to start in the drugstore. I know that there is so many different makeup products available at the drugstore and it can all be really confusing if you literally have no idea about anything to do with makeup or where to start. And so I just kind of thought that this video might be helpful to some of you guys that maybe are looking to start buying some makeup and you're really new to it and you literally have no idea where to start or like what things do or like, you know, what brands are good, what products are good. So I kind of narrowed it down to my top drugstore picks, and yeah, this is pretty much the ultimate drugstore starter kit. Also, I literally never watch football, but England are playing football in like an hour and a half, so I'm gonna try and get this filmed quickly and edited quickly and uploaded because football's coming home. Today's notification squad shout out goes to LEDC, and she says, I was on YouTube watching a different video but I got your notification and immediately came to this video, hashtag notification squad. Love you, Soph, and by the way, this looks really summery and nice. Thank you so much, Ellie, and thank you guys all for your comments. There are loads of really nice comments on my previous video. As always, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. And let's get into it. Oh, I'm sitting really awkwardly on my foot. 1 second. Okay, so these are all things that have worked really well for me. I know that everybody's kind of different, but you know, if I like something, then hopefully other people will like them too. So I'm gonna start with primers. Primer is something that I literally never used to use up until about a couple of months ago because I didn't really think it did anything. Then I did a video testing like half and half, like primer on one side of my face. It was actually this primer that I tested. So if you want to see that video and like how long it actually lasted for and stuff like that, then I will try and remember to put it in the cards. But if I forget, then just search it on my channel. So this one is the Revolution Pro Pore Primer. I would definitely recommend this one more if you have oily skin because it's a very mattifying primer and it kind of just smooths everything and it makes your face more matte. And then one that I would recommend if you, well, I still like this as well, my skin's oily, but this is the One Heck of a Blot Primer by Soap & Glory. This one isn't as kind of matte. It still smooths your skin really nicely, but it's got a little bit more moisture to it. So if you don't want something that's, you know, super matte finish, then I would recommend the Soap & Glory one. But both of these are really nice primers. They're both really affordable. I think this one is £7. I'm not sure how much the Soap & Glory one is, but I'll try and link it down below. Yeah, these are just both nice primers, but what I would recommend doing, I will cleanse my face and then I use some kind of moisturizer that's got like sun protection in it. I mean, you don't have to use that, but I would just recommend it because protecting your skin from the sun is always a good idea. I normally use the No. 7 one or one by The Body Shop, but even if you do have oily skin, it's such a misconception that you don't need to moisturize. You definitely should moisturize your skin, like no matter what skin type you have. I would definitely recommend moisturizing your skin. Another one that I really like is the Soap & Glory Speed Plump Moisturizer, and then after that I will do my primer. So hopefully that makes sense. Then I'm just going to briefly touch on foundations because I have done a full video on my top 10 drugstore foundations, but I'm just going to talk about 3 in this, varying in coverage. If you want something that's very light coverage, not too heavy on your skin, and your skin actually looks like skin, so this is something that maybe I would recommend if you're like, I don't know, for summer or for school or for work or somewhere where you don't really want like a full cake face of makeup, which I mean, I do that pretty much every day, but just personal preference. This is the Rimmel Match Perfection Foundation. It's a very moisturizing foundation. It's pretty dewy. This has got SPF 20 in it and they've just increased their shade range, I believe. So yeah, this is a really nice kind of light to medium coverage foundation if you don't want something too heavy. Then if you want something that's kind of in the middle and is like a medium sort of coverage, then one that I absolutely love and I have used this for years is the Revlon Color Stay Foundation. I use the one for combination to oily skin, but they have got one that's for dry, normal skin, I think. Revlon Color Stay is also a really good foundation, but this one's definitely higher coverage than the one I just mentioned. And then if you want something that is literally going to cover everything, the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation is like full coverage. It's really matte, but I know people with dry skin that love this as well, so I guess it works for everyone. This foundation is so good. It's what I've got on my face today. I just freaking love it. It's pretty much my favorite foundation of all time, and it's only $9.99, so yeah. I think all of those are $9.99 actually. Then once you've done your foundation, or maybe even if you don't want to use foundation, you could just use concealer by itself. But what I do is I will do primer, I then do foundation, and then I do concealer. And you want to use concealer to, well, you don't have to, but I mean, just recommending. You can use concealer to cover up your under eyes, any redness on your face, any like blemishes and stuff. I've got so many drugstore concealers again that are really good. I think I've got a video on it. I'm pretty sure I do actually. But one that I would just recommend as like a really good all-rounder, this is £4 and it's the Revolution Conceal and Define. I think it comes in 25 shades now, or is it 18? It started out with 18 shades. I think it might now come in 25 different shades, but there's so many different shades to choose from, which is why I picked this concealer, and it's got really good coverage as well. I really, really like it, so that is a concealer that I would recommend. And then to set everything into place, me personally, I have to use a setting powder because if I don't, my makeup will literally just fall off my face. But maybe if you have dry skin, you wouldn't need to set your makeup, but I still know a lot of people with dry skin that do set their makeup. So I guess it's just personal preference and how like sticky, like if you don't mind your foundation feeling sticky or whatever. I don't know, I just generally find that if I set my foundation and concealer, then it lasts a lot longer. Two that I would really recommend are both by Rimmel. This is a loose one, which is the Rimmel Match Perfection powder. I prefer loose powders personally because I find they pack more of a punch. And they like really help keep your makeup on, but then at the same time they're pretty messy and it's like kind of chunky to carry around. This is the transparent one. I just really love this loose powder. I think it's really good. But then one, if you just want to, you know, if you can't be asked with all of the loose powder going everywhere and stuff like that, the Rimmel Stay Matte powder is just a classic. This one's also in transparent and it's literally just a pretty much basic pressed powder, but it's really good at keeping your makeup on and it sets things really nicely without looking cakey. So yes, would recommend this too. I think the loose one is like $6.99 and I think the pressed one is like £4.99 or £4.19 or something maybe. I don't really know. So then moving on to eyebrows. There is a whole host of different eyebrow products that you can get. There's like pomades, which are a lot thicker and I would maybe not recommend for beginners. There's, well, I don't know, you might be able to do it really well. Who knows? They do powders as well. Obviously brow pencils. You can get like brow felt tips and stuff now. Brow gels, like there's so many different things. But just to keep it super simple, I think if you are, you know, just starting out with makeup and you want to add a little something, something to your brows, but you don't want to go like too block browy. Did that even make sense? I don't know. Then I have three products which are all by NYX. I really like NYX's brow stuff. The first one is the Micro Brow Pencil. I think this is £9. It comes in loads of different shades and it's got a spoolie on one side so you can brush through your brows. And then the other side is just a really tiny twist up pencil. So it's really good for just like filling in any gaps that you have in your eyebrows. And it's really precise as well. And then if you just want to add a little bit of tint through your brows, you could literally just use this by itself or you could use it in combination with the pencil, which is what I do. This is the NYX Brow Mascara. I have the shade Brunette, which surprisingly kind of works for me, even though it's kind of dark, but actually it's not as dark as it looks on the outside of the tube. Again, this comes in quite a few shades and it's basically just like mascara that you can put through your eyebrows and it adds a little bit of colour to them. So this is probably like the most natural looking thing if you just want to use this by itself. But then if you don't want a tinted brow gel, then you can use a clear one, which literally is just going to hold your eyebrows in place. And this is the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. It's literally just a clear brow gel. I don't really know what else to say about it. Okay, so then moving on from eyebrows, I would then normally contour my face and I would do contour and bronzer. I know that some people just like to bronze, some people just like to contour. Again, it's kind of personal preference, but for me, what I use a contour powder for is to just chisel out my cheekbones. I just use it kind of under my cheekbones and the hollows of my cheeks to add a little bit of a shadow. So I normally go for something a bit more cool toned for contouring. My favourite at the moment is the Bleach London Contour Nuity Powder in the shade Bones 4. The name is a bit of a mouthful, I'm not gonna lie, but this works so well. It's not too pigmented, so like it's not super muddy looking. I find that this really works well if you have a similar skin tone to me, but they do it in different shades as well. It's £4.50, but the only annoying thing about this is it doesn't come in anything. Like it just comes in a pan, which kind of sucks because I like bought this magnetic palette on eBay to put it in and this is so dirty, that's actually gross. But if you do have one of these magnetic palette things, you can get them on eBay for pretty cheap and it's a really good contour colour. But you know, you could go for something else. There's lots of other options out there, but that's my favourite. And then my favourite affordable drugstore bronzer at the moment is by CYO. This is their bronzing powder in the shade Fair. Again, they've got this in quite a few different shades. This one is pretty warm, and what I use bronzer for is for just like warming up my face so I don't look so ghostly. And I put this kind of round my forehead, like round here, and then I also do put a bit on my cheeks as well, just to kind of blend it in with my contour. This smells delicious, and it's a really nice like formula. Again, it's not too pigmented, so it's very buildable. And yeah, it's only £4, so I really like that bronzer, and you can get CYO in Boots. Then for blush, something that I would recommend if you're just starting out. I never used to wear blush until like the past year, 6 months maybe, and now I really like it, but I never used to really bother with it, to be honest, so it's up to you. But one that I would really recommend just like for beginners is $1.99. It's by Boots Natural Collection. I think they've changed the packaging for this now, but I have the shade Peach Melba, and it's just a really kind of neutral peachy pink colour. I would definitely recommend going for something a bit more like peachy for like if you're just starting out with blush, because some of them can be like really bold and intense. This one's just pretty natural looking and pretty soft, so I really like it. But to be honest, like there's so many blushes out there and I've never really experienced a bad blush. Then on to highlighter, which is my favourite part. I pretty much put highlighter everywhere because I go a bit overboard, but I put it on the tops of my cheekbones just to make them really pop and like stand out. I put it down the centre of my nose, on the tip of my nose, on my brow bone, the inner corners of my eyes, and my cupid's bow. But I know that you can put it like above here as well, and like a bit on your chin. You can pretty much put this wherever you like, but that's just what I like to do with it. And I'm not gonna lie, something that I would really recommend if you're a beginner starting out with highlighter is my highlighter palette with Makeup Revolution. This is what I've got on today. I've got on this colour here with a bit of this colour. But there's quite a few different shades in here. You get 8 different colours, so you can really kind of experiment with what colours you like. And you get 8 shades for £8, so it's really affordable. And honestly, like I just love the formula of these highlighters. Some of them are baked, some of them are pressed, and it just means they've got a slightly different formula, but they're just really pretty. I absolutely love it. If you want something that's good, like just for an individual highlighter that you can chuck in your handbag, Makeup Revolution do loads of really good individual ones as well. But I really like this one by W7, which is the Glow Commotion highlighter. It looks like this. It's got a mirror, so it's good for traveling, and this is pretty much a dupe of like the Balm Merry Luminizer, which is one of my favourite highlighters. But it's just really pretty. It's a really nice kind of champagne gold colour, and I think this one is about £4. And then again, I feel really biased talking about this, but for eyeshadow, a palette which I really honestly swear to God would recommend. Like if I didn't love this myself, then I wouldn't be talking about it. This is my latest palette with Makeup Revolution, which is the Soph Extra Spice palette. I just absolutely love this. It's pretty much got every colour that you would ever really need. There's lots of neutrals in here, but there's also bright colours if you want to do something a bit more fun. I just freaking love it. I mean, obviously I do, it's mine, so I'm a bit biased, but I've also got a first palette with Makeup Revolution, which is probably a bit more neutral, but I just love this one so much. It's all I've been using recently, and yeah. It's got a really big mirror as well for traveling, and you get lots of different shades in here, and it's only a tenner. So then once I have done my eyeshadow, I will then use a liquid eyeliner. I don't use it all the time. Obviously, as you can see today, I don't have any on. By the way, on my eyes today, I've got a bit of my Extra Spice palette, and then I've got one of the Revolution glitter pastes. For eyeliner, one that I would definitely recommend for beginners. I feel like a lot of this stuff has been Revolution, but I mean, it's what I use and it's really cheap, so yeah. There's loads of different eyeliners on the market. A lot of the ones I really like are by NYX, but then some of the ones by NYX I wouldn't necessarily recommend for beginners because they've got quite a like soft brush, and I feel like if your hand's kind of shaky, then it's quite easy to like go wrong with them. So one that's definitely very stable, it's got like a good grip to it, and it's not too like flexible, which is why I think this would be good for beginners, is the Revolution Renaissance Flick Liner. So it looks like this, and it's just a really skinny kind of felt tip. This one is really black, and it's really like fine and thin as well, so you can really get close to your lash line. And then a mascara that I would really recommend because it's super cheap and it works really well is the Collection Lash Surge mascara. It's kind of difficult to say because it's like lash surge. This is $3.99, and it's just a kind of skinny, like it's nothing special, it's just like a skinny natural bristle mascara wand, but I find that it works really well, and it like lengthens my lashes really nicely. It gives me a lot of volume, and it's really cheap, so I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a, you know, mascara that you want to try. And then for lips, I kind of feel like with lip products it's probably the easiest to choose by yourself, because you can swatch a lip product in like Superdrug or Boots or whatever and tell whether you like the colour, whether you like the finish or whatever. So with lip products you can pretty much just choose like whichever colours and textures you like by swatching them on your hand, whether that's like a gloss or like a satin finish or a matte finish or whatever. But some lip products that I really like the Maybelline lipsticks. Those ones are really good. In terms of liquid lipsticks, I also like the Maybelline Superstay liquid lipsticks. The Barry M liquid lipsticks are pretty good. All the NYX liquid suedes I absolutely love. Obviously I have my classic bullet lipsticks with Makeup Revolution in 3 different nude shades, and obviously I love those as well. So yeah, there's quite a huge variety of lipsticks at the drugstore, so go wild and kind of pick what you like, because most of them are pretty good, to be fair. And then finally, for setting spray, it's not an essential, but it's just like gonna help your makeup stay on a little bit longer. Again, I did a video like with a half and half setting spray, half no setting spray kind of thing. This is the Revolution Sport Fix. To be honest, Makeup Revolution have got so many different fixing sprays. Like, I don't really know what the difference is between them, but they all kind of work in the same sort of way. One that I've been using recently is the Sport Fix one, and it's just like a spray. You don't want to do it too close to your face, but just kind of outstretch your arm and just give yourself a few spritzes. I normally go a bit overboard and do like 20, and then it just like helps your makeup last a little bit longer, and also it's good for kind of making your face look less cakey as well. So yeah, I think that is everything for my drugstore essentials. So I really hope you guys have found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it so much, obviously, if you would subscribe. I mean, you might not want to, but that's okay. I would love it if you did. I hope you guys are all doing really, really well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, and also this makeup bag, don't really know who it's by, but it says London, Soho, New York on it. This is what my bed looks like after filming a video. It's just mess everywhere. It's not as glamorous as it seems, you guys.